Hi, this is Dr. Lawrence Tan from Drive Your Practice, and what I'm about to show you is an quick interview of one of my clients who's been able to just do three key things that actually help transform his business. Let me tell you a little bit about Connor. Connor, when he first started with me, he was working in a practice for 3 years, basically seeing the same amount of people, making the same amount of impact. And in less than 4 months, he was able to double his practice, which means that he was able to double the impact into his community. He was able to serve more people, have more referrals, and really, in his own words, you'll find out that how he did it without ever advertising, any marketing, no external advertising whatsoever, and just changing three fundamental keys that actually transform his business in less than 4 months' time. And he shows you sort of some of the key things that you need to learn to help you do that. So let's go check out what Connor did to help him double his impact in his community. Hi everybody, I'm here with Dr. Connor Sexton, and he's just been doing some incredible things over the last year, and I wanted to kind of really display what he's done, what he's able to transpire. He's literally doubled his practice in about 4 months since starting with me, and I really wanted to kind of show everybody here what exactly he did, what did he actually learn, and how did he do that. Now, the more important thing is not about just doubling your practice, because now, Connor, I'm sure you agree with me, it's about you were able to double the impact in your community. Like, you're able to serve more people, and you're getting better results, and so obviously people are referring back to you. So welcome to this video, and thank you for doing this case study to help other people grow their practice. So Connor, let's start with this. What do you think, I'm going to ask you the three things that you actually learned that was able to, or what you actually did that was able to kind of take it to that next level, and how you did that in such a short period of time, because you plateaued for a long time, weren't you? So let's start actually, before we go with that, where did you come from? Like, what did you start? What was the fears and frustrations that you were going through at the beginning?
Sure. So thanks for having me too, mate. Where I came from was I started out just newly buying a practice, actually, Lawrence. So if you remember, I gave you a call and called you up, said I've bought a practice. I now have an associate, and neither of us are busy enough, so we need to get busier. And one of the things that I found within that practice was I had been there for about 3 years. Before I bought it, I was around about 100, 120 a week personally, and I'd been there for a while and just had a good look at, just not quite knowing where to go from there. So kind of working hard, but running around with a chook with its head cut off, really. So the first things that I really took from you and what you helped me do was set up that framework of looking at, and that framework went through everything, and it was really whatever situation I was in, what was the problem, what was the goal, what were the steps that we're going to do to get there, and why that's really important that we need to do that. And so whether that was a new patient, report a finding, whether it was with staff, whether it was with just a regular adjustment, that really gave me, that framework helped me give me an authority, and also a sense of that, and trust, enabled people to trust in me and go from there.
So those frameworks that you're talking about is those frameworks, that those various different frameworks. You got a framework for a new client, a 9-step process. You got a framework for a report of findings, and frameworks just kind of creates for you, I imagine, was got a little bit more clarity rather than just random communication. Actually kind of gave you specific steps, not a script, because we're all so different. You're so different than I am. You can't be me, and I don't want to be you either. No one wants to be, you want to be an individual. And what those frameworks allows you to do is give you sort of a step-by-step clarity of exactly what you need to say next, in a sense of what they need to hear to move them forward, because that allows them to follow through with what the next step is. I mean, would that be clear, sort of what happened for you?
Yeah, pretty much, because in every situation you have different goals, and the best thing about the frameworks too is you can sort of do it once and then just put it in the bank.
Yeah.
So you set up your framework for your different situations, and then once you have that framework done, it's finished. You don't have to worry about it, and it's there to pull on whenever you need it. Yeah. But certainly, I was one of those people that would try to probably give too much information. So by enabling the framework, what it did was really help break it down for me, and so really only giving what I really needed for that visit, or for that situation, whether it's at work or at home. Helped me out with my fiance too, so that's
That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. So, what would you say the second big thing that you got that helped you really transform your practice?
yeah. So one of the second big one was the focus as well in another area, was looking at what was wrong with the practice, and then picking just one or two things to then make that big impact. And that was a big one too, because again, sometimes you see the forest instead of the tree, and I was certainly seeing the forest of problems and the issues that we had there, and then by enabling myself to just focus in on that one or two things or three things, as you said, for the quarter, then that's enabled me to make those steps, those changes relatively easily.
And did you find it was actually dealing with all the problems, or was just like dealing with the key problem that was
Yeah,
needed?
yeah, the key, and that's another good point actually. So often you find it's a bit like a schoolroom when you have one kid that's causing all the trouble, you get rid of them, a lot of the other problems disappear.
Yes,
So
right.
I found that as well. By focusing down, all of a sudden my problems list reduced dramatically.
Yeah,
So,
lucky the problem wasn't you, right? So
yeah,
yeah, it's so true though, because often people think that they think the biggest problem is that they don't have enough new clients, or they need to kind of go and create more marketing campaigns. But usually the problem is not that at all. It's because you're actually not retaining the people that you already got,
yeah,
or even just not being able to communicate the right message. And I think that's one of the big thing that you transformed as well, was being able to take all that chaos in your life, in your practice, and be able to get it more organized. And obviously we can always be more organized. I'm sure you agree with me there. But the one of the other thing that the third thing here would be your communication. I think that really shifted for you. I mean, the frameworks obviously helped create that, but how did your communication change? Since from I mean, you were stuck at plateauing for like 3 years, right? Didn't really
yeah.
shift at all, and now all of a sudden, like within 4 months, you were able to double practice. I mean, obviously it wasn't just like some magic voodoo thing that you've just done. Like but you did some in terms of the way you language things and change things. What specifically do you think that's really helped create that?
Yeah, well, the framework I think enabled me to simplify it a lot more.
Yeah.
So and pick, and also reading who I was talking to and finding out their why they were there, what were their goals, what was it that why was it they're taking action? Because I'm sure we've all been in practice and we've had people that have come in with neck pain that they've had for like 4 months,
Yeah.
and they come in on Saturday.
Yeah.
And like, can you give me an adjustment on Saturday?
That's right.
So it's what made them come in on that day where they've had the problem for 4 months. Why didn't they come in 4 months ago? What was it that's changed with them that's made it suddenly important? So finding out what was important to the person that was there. And I think, again, as you said, communication, it goes across all areas. So having that for staff as well, what was it important to them, and why is it they're there, and why is it that they're at work, and so being able to read a person and communicate to different types of people, because I guess in the past I was very adept at communicating to certain types of people, and so they're the ones that probably stayed and got the message, whereas a lot of the others, just slip through the net, go through the holes.
So if we had to leave this interview with one last thing, is that what has it been for you? What has it been like for you since, because, obviously doubling your practice allows it a greater impact in the sense of well-being, but how has your clients been able to benefit because of all the changes you've done?
Yeah, so a lot of them understand what we're doing a lot more, and we've got a lot more who have really, I guess, changed their lifestyle as well, because I've been able to communicate in a better way. Another option, another lifestyle option. So, and not force it down their throats, but just open up the idea that maybe it's that health is within their power, and it's within their choice, and it's the choices that they make every day is what determines their health. That it's really a gift, and that they need to make sure that they open a nice present rather than an empty box. So
And that's the best part about it, is that, it's rather than being forceful with the care in terms of, we're not forcing chiropractic on anybody. It's more about they actually choose.
yeah,
And because they choose it themselves, they're able to kind of choose a better life for themselves, and they're getting the results. And I assume that that's also for you. That's how you're getting more new clients from referrals, because you don't have to go out and get more people, because you're actually delivering on the service that you promised them.
as we chatted about, I haven't done any advertising for over 12 months now.
Isn't
Well,
that amazing, right?
I don't think I've done any advertising since as a business owner, to be
Yeah.
honest. So
Hey, there you go. And
yeah,
it's working better for you without having to
yeah,
advertise. It's
certainly cheaper not to advertise. That's for sure.
That's right. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you, Connor, for taking the time, and I'm sure that anybody watching this would have got a lot of value from just learning from those 3 tips, and how to create their practice. And so if you guys are watching this, I think if you're really wanting to know more about how you can do this yourself, come check out some of the seminars that we're doing. We got one that's coming up called Practice Like a Pro. We took an amateur Connor to professional Connor in less than 4 months' time, and I think it's important to be able to step up. And the community needs you, and we need you as a profession to help you do a better job. And more importantly, it helps chiropractic really make an impact on the people's lives, and people's lives are changing because of you. So let's do it together. Thanks, Connor. Really appreciate it.
No worries, Lawrence. Thank you.